Must be called harbour master here, after a ship of your own.
From serving the country...
Well, anyone can have a hard time in the services. It depends what you make of it.
...to protecting his hometown.
You all right?
Fine. It's all in the mind, like you said.
You're going to teach your girlfriend here how to do a canoe roll. And if she can't, you both fail the course.
I won't have it.
Well, we're not in the Navy now, sir.
Nick Berry in Harbour Lights. Next Thursday at 8 on BBC1.
And go behind the scenes of Harbour Lights in the new issue of Radio Times, together with complete listings for all television and major satellite channels.
Tomorrow night, the titans of the talk show come together.
I'm not nervous.
America's finest.
She's now one of the world's most influential and well-known women.
And the best of British.
You are unbelievable.
Oprah Winfrey meets Parkinson in her first British television interview. Tomorrow night at 9:30 on BBC1.
So, how are we doing? This is BBC1 with Des Lynam.
Hello and welcome to a brand new series of Points of View with, as you can see, a brand new set, brand new titles and a, well, different presenter. By the way, it is me, not a look-alike hired from a stripogram agency. And despite the fact that we've been off-air for some time, you've still kept those letters coming in. Thank you. Especially over the last few days when EastEnders has caused no end of a furore. 15 complaints about Sunday's episode when murder was committed, but 112 after Monday when the culprit disposed of the body.
I would like to express my despair at EastEnders. First the murder, which was quite despicable, and then getting rid of the body. I have a 9.5-year-old son who watched everything and was quite horrified.
The killing and hiding of Saskia was particularly disgusting. Have they run out of any decent storylines?
It's bad enough that a young woman ended up dead, but to be subjected to the grisly disposal of the body as well was too much. It was distasteful and revolting.
Well, without repeating the crime, here's a clip which will give you some idea of what's been causing all the trouble.
You killed her, not me. Yeah, but you had hold of her. You held her while I hit her. You were the one who got rid of her stuff, right? You were with me putting the body into the car. Terry saw us doing it. And then you helped me bury her. This ain't a game, Matthew. You're in this up to your neck. You know what? You just remember one thing. If I go down, I'm taking you with me.
And despite a handful of calls praising the storyline, we're still getting angry complaints. So we asked head of drama series Mal Young for an explanation.
Viewers have come to expect that EastEnders will show all aspects of society today, both good and bad, and the long-term effects of antisocial behaviour. We always try to ensure that stories like the death of Saskia are carefully and sensitively handled, and over future episodes you can expect to see Steve pay for his actions.
Unlikely to get his comeuppance, though, Noel Edmonds, after featuring what you saw as unnecessary gore on his show.
I was shocked at the sight of a woman's head exploding on Noel's house party, especially since my young daughter was watching.
It was insensitive and in very poor taste.
Well, at least the studio audience seemed to enjoy it, I think. And there were no complaints about a particularly harrowing episode of Casualty last Saturday.
It was very well written and had a wonderful storyline. I really enjoyed it. Well done.
Thank you very much for a fantastic episode. Brilliant performances and excellent stunts.
No, stay where you are!
Wow, and for those of you who didn't see that episode and are now worried about Josh and the after effects of the special effects...
It's okay.
Yes, no whimpering from Josh, but much from some unhappy people who fear that the BBC is about to say goodbye to Kumbai.
As a country person, I feel very strongly that the urban majority seems determined to cancel or trivialise rural programmes.
I must protest that the removing of the programme from the schedule would constitute the removal of a small island of tranquility in an otherwise hectic and stressful world.
The day they cancel this enthralling programme is the day I stop watching sport on the BBC altogether.
Sorry, I'm afraid the rumours are true. Apparently, the BBC feels that it's time to take a new look at the way it approaches country matters, and the programme will therefore not return in its current form, but they are planning a special farewell edition. Well, now to a new series, Animal Police.
Yeah, she's a very old cat. She's got a very bad flu, possibly a leukemia-type infection from the state of her. She's very thin. I think I'm afraid the best thing we can do is put her out of her misery and put her to sleep.
Howls of horror, not only in reaction to this week's programme, but also to last week's, which featured a cow being killed at an abattoir.
To show such barbaric treatment of the cattle being slaughtered was sickening. As a meat-eating race, I am sure we all know what happens at these places without needing to see it on TV.
I'm disgusted with the RSPCA and also the BBC for featuring them. They just put down the cat on the spot because they said it was ill. No vet was there, no qualified person. They just took the life of an animal.
But programme producer Ian Stuttard says,
the inspectors are not vets, but they're given enough training to enable them to recognise symptoms, which would have no other solution, sadly, than euthanasia.
Complaints too about Fern Britton's treatment of the vertically challenged but charming Willie Carson.
I thought she was appallingly patronising to him.
Well, that looked friendly enough to me. Not for the prim and proper, rather surprisingly, Garden Stories, a handful of compliments, but 19 calls of disapproval.
I cannot see the connection between naked bums and gardening.
Nudity? In a gardening programme?
For Unitarian lay preachers Rosemary and David Arthur, their Wakefield garden is a sanctuary where they are free to garden in the style they choose.
We're not shy about our bodies.
Pruning the roses could get a bit tricky. Also not for the easily shocked, Charlie Dimmock in another gardening programme, Ground Force.
The woman on it was disgraceful. She seemed to think she was entering a wet T-shirt competition. It was quite distracting.
But others thoroughly approve of Charlie.
Long may the rain continue. The programme provided a couple of good points for us gardeners.
I think Charlie should have her own programme.
And the good news for you and all other Charlie fans is that she'll be starring in her own 4-part series, Charlie's Army, in the autumn. No doubt it'll be well supported. Finally, just as we started, so we'll finish with EastEnders, but this time complaints of a different nature.
How come your titles are out of date? The Millennium Dome is nowhere to be seen.
It infuriates my husband, and I miss half the programme due to his constant background grumbling. Please show it.
We'd love to, but where exactly does it go? Just for you, Mr. Farris. Well, that's it for this week. See you next Thursday. And in the meantime, if you have any comments on BBC TV programmes, please write to Points of View, BBC Television, London W12 7SB, or phone or fax 0181 811 1050, email pov@bbc.co.uk. And please don't forget to leave your daytime and evening telephone numbers.